Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of the America Guns and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As always, this is just an open chat. You all decide what we're talking about. You get to ask the questions, suggest the topics. Doesn't have to be gun related. We talk about a lot of things: cars, cryptids, wrestling, motorcycles. We talk about all kinds of manly man stuff here. So ask whatever questions you want to ask. I'll do my best to address them. If I can't answer a question, maybe someone in the live chat can. So pay attention to the live chat. Participate in the live chat. Talk amongst yourselves all you want. Ignore me if you want to. Feel free. As always, I like to start today's chat with reading the names of people who've bought merchandise over the last 24 hours. But today it's the last 48 hours because we didn't read them yesterday because we did the jerk circle, the no FUD zone yesterday. So I didn't get a chance to read them yesterday. But we got Scott Heckman. Scott Heckman bought the Guns Don't Kill People, the Government Does shirt. Devin Desjardins, he got a couple shirts here. He got the Don't Point Your Glock at Your Cock shirt, the bear shirt. So good on him. He's doing good there. Gary McCloskey. What did he buy? He got some Save the 40s decals. I got to put him on the Save the 40s list. Hold on. Let me find my Save the 40s list. Make sure he's not on it already. Add him on there. What's his name again? Gary. Used to have two Uncle Garys. Now I just got one. Not Gary McCloskey. Gary Atkinson and Gary Watson. The Gary Watson one's dead. He died when I was young. He had Hodgkin's disease. So we got that order there. We got Tim Allen. He bought, no, he didn't buy nothing. I bought him that. He won that. That's for free. And then we got Derek Thompson bought some Magnets. Because the one for Tim Allen, he won a free shirt yesterday. That's what that's on there. It's not a sale. I got myself all happy thinking we sold something when we didn't. All right, let's get started on the chat. I got to get over here and see what we got coming in. I don't think we got anything coming over here yet. Oh, we do have one over here yet. First, let's get to this one over here first from Gummy Wuzzle. He said, if you take a day or three off for your mental health now and then, we'll still be here. Don't get burnt out. Not good for any of us. Yeah, I am getting a little burnt out, I will say. It's not the doing it, though. It's not the work or the doing topics. I like doing videos about things I enjoy and things like that. I'm not so big on doing videos saying, well, the Supreme Court screwed us again. I don't like that as much. But what's getting me burnt out is YouTube and how they're making sure my efforts go for naught. You know what I mean? And how it's so obviously artificial. It gets on my nerves. I've just been targeted. Let me get over here to the question, see what we got coming in. Today's the 8th, right? All right, we got John Heasley weighing in. John Heasley. Remember, weigh in with some good questions, people. And pay your tithe to Phil, you heathen bastards. You're all going to get Lyme disease. I swear you come in here, you watch this amazing entertainment, and you don't even pay your minimum $2 tithe to Phil so that he can help the Pets and Vets program and help animals in need. Well, that's just sinful. And you're going to go to hell. Well, he don't believe in hell. Neither Phil nor I believe in hell. But he will either, like I said, blow your trailer away or give you Lyme disease or crack the windshield on your car. We've seen all that. Well, we haven't seen the trailer blown away. We did see someone have a tornado near their house, but they paid their tithe and they survived. But we've seen the Lyme disease and we've seen the cracked windshields. So let's not push him any further. And we saw him push my car into a tree because you assholes don't pay your tithe. Pay your tithe. And if you want to be featured at the end of our videos, go on over there and go over to my website and buy some Phil merchandise from the Church of Phil and get on the scroll at the end of the videos as a channel supporter. All you got to do is buy yourself a t-shirt or something like that, a hat, and then you're a supporter. I suggest the Phil loves you, but he will fuck you up shirt. That's the best one, I think. As I was saying, what did he say here? This was John Heasley, and he says, need to win a stock. That's not a question. That's a statement. But Johnny Mandrick chimed in. Johnny Mandrick and said, what are some tips for shooting a snub-nose revolver with gutter sights? Well, I mean, the gutter sights don't matter. Sights are sights, whether it's stick up above or whether they're gutter sights. If you do have a gun with gutter sights, it should be designed in a way where, you know, the barrel isn't up as high as the top of the gun and the sights are set kind of low. So it's still the same thing. You line them up and you put the target right on top of your sights. Now, that's a question people ask most of the time. Are they set up to where your sights go right on your target? Generally, with those, they're set up to where once you line your dots up, your target is just visible right above your center dot. So you aim a little low, it shoots a little higher. That's why a lot of people are like, it shoots a little high. And it's like, because you're shooting at close range and you're putting the dot on the target. Like if you're trying to hit the center target, you're putting your dot right on it. And a lot of these small guns are set up for like a figure eight. You know, your dot is here and your target is sitting right here on top of it. So that's one thing you got to know. But shooting a small revolver is mostly about grip, about finding out how to hold it and not get your fingers in your own way. I've just always found that a low tucked under grip with a tucked thumb usually works. You can't put your finger, you know, a lot of people are like, your hand's got to be out in front. No, it doesn't work really on a small revolver. It's got to be almost a modified teacup to keep a good hold of it. And there's nothing wrong with a teacup grip. Even if you were doing like a full teacup with a revolver, nothing wrong with it. The only reason a teacup is not acceptable is because some people will say it doesn't give you full control of the gun. Most small revolvers, you can maintain full control of the gun with one hand. Most of us are men, and we can do that. And the other thing is that it's dangerous if you got a semi-auto, because if you have an explosion, a lot of that energy goes out the bottom. You blow out your magazines. I've seen people get big chunks out of their hand from that. That's not going to happen on a revolver. There's no magazine to blow out. So if you can maintain control of the gun and you're not at risk of being hurt, pull that hand down a little bit so you're not fighting your own fingers. You know, I can't even pull the trigger. My thumb or my first finger's in the way. Bring that hand down a little bit. Get a grip on it low. Tuck your thumbs in on the side or even on the back. If you've got room to where that hammer's not going to hit your thumbs on the back, I use my thumbs tucked on the back a lot because I cock with my left thumb. So I know that's hard to take in all at once just on talking, but hopefully people understood what I was saying there. See, there's a question. That's actually a question. Who asked that? Was that John and Mandrick? Johnny Mandrick chimed in again and said, guns used to have nicknames like the Peacemaker and the Saturday Night Special or Spectacular Craptastic Jam-O-Matic. Well, this would still do. That's Kel-Tex. What would some nicknames for popular guns today? I don't know if those are just nicknames. A lot of times the companies actually called them those things. But like the Peacemaker, you know, called it that. But I don't know what would be the title for most guns today. It would really have to think of a specific gun. And it would have to be something non-offensive. You can't offend nobody. So, you know, like your Smith & Wesson 686 would have to be like a Nighty Night something, you know, like a Nighty Night device or a Sweet Dreams machine or something, you know, something that you imply that we're not trying to hurt nobody. The Fantastic, Bambastic something, you know, just give it a big fancy name and then people won't know to be offended. But no scary names. People get offended too easy. Danny Pint says, how are my knives doing? Raising some money? Yes, we gave away one today. We've been giving away one of the little ones every day because you gave me a shit ton of these. We've been giving away one of these little Tufts every day. And today we gave away, someone gets to choose between the three big ones. I'm trying to save the big ones mostly I want to try to get my Patreon numbers back up. So I'm going to bribe people with a knife giveaway. But so far they've been put to a lot of good use. We gave away one big knife. We gave it away to Gummy Wuzzle. Wait, did we just weigh one big knife? Let's see. No, we gave away the one big one. Yeah, then we gave away some of the Tufts, and we gave away a spike here. This spike is John Heasley's. I need to get it mailed to him. But yes, they're doing good. Where were we at there? That was John and Mandrick asked that question. And then we got Chrissy Jones again, who just won a free shirt. Hail 40 and save the fills. Are you particular on how your ammo is stored? How much defense ammo do you shoot like to keep, i.e. stuff you don't piss away at the range? Well, that's actually a pretty good question because I am not all that particular. I mean, I store mine a certain way. As you can see back here, those are ammo cans all lined up back there, and that's how I store my ammo. So nothing super particular. It's just, I got them in cans, and there's stuff sitting on top in boxes that is stuff I'll use more readily, so I don't got to like pick stuff up and open up boxes. Like I got boxes of Minuteman. And to be honest, I used to try to keep about 10% self-defense ammo, and the rest was all range ammo. But nowadays, I pretty much exclusively buy Minuteman ammo. And the reason I do that is because with Minuteman ammo, you don't have to choose between range and self-defense because it's closer to range pricing, but it's easily self-defense quality. And it's all brand new ammo. So I would rather spend a little bit more on what I stock up, compared to like the cheapest range ammo. I am paying a little more, but every round in that box is as good as if it came out like a Corbon box. So that's all I buy now. As you can see, there's lots of little, see those red boxes stacked up next to Phil and over here and on the other end down there and down there. That's all Minuteman boxes. And I keep those out because that's what I shoot from. Now I did have a whole box of loose 9mm right there. That was about, I'd say 15 of those big 9mm boxes from Sporting Systems all dumped into one case. So there was probably a couple thousand rounds of ammo in there, or maybe 3,000 rounds of ammo in there. But Caden shot all. There's like 25 rounds left in there over the course of I think 6 months. With him coming up here and I'm going to go shoot my gun, or I'm going to take my friend down and we're going to go shooting and all that other stuff. They managed to shoot all my fucking 9mm ammo. So I am not well stocked on 9mm. I got to start stocking back up. That's one of the things we'll start doing is every time I go Sporting Systems, I'm buying a box of 9mm because I need to restock it. So if anybody thought about buying me ammo, buy me 9mm Minuteman ammo. Not that anybody would buy me anything, bastards. Sometimes I wonder if you really love me. I should do it. Phil's going to call me home if I don't raise this much money for ammo in the next month. Or if you don't send me this much ammo, Phil's going to call me home. I don't know where that would be. Because see, there's no heaven or hell in Phil's mythology. So I can't go live with him. He lives outside of our realm of existence. He, everything that is inside the cosmic watermelon. I can't go outside the cosmic watermelon. So where would he take me? He'd probably drop me off in Cleveland or something. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. But yeah, that answers the question, I think. The ammo I buy nowadays is pretty much for both. Jason Thompson paid his $2 tithe to Phil and said, I sent more emails. I saw those. Did you see the video of my sweet kid? I saw that, Butch. It's out of compassion. I don't show that video because that video makes you look very special. He had his fancy feast last night and he wanted to say hello. I also found out more bootlickers and cops don't like Bubbles sperm. Yeah. I'm not reading that. That got gross. Jason Thompson. Oh, I just read that, didn't I? I just read that. I ain't reading it again. I'm sure it didn't get less gross. Paul Bidenbach also paid his $2 tithe to Phil and said, Hail, Phil, you used to eat a bucket of gummy bears until sick. That diabetes is quite a mystery. I say so too. I mean, diabetes. I was a very active person, in very good shape. I mean, when I got married, when we first started dating, I weighed 180 pounds of solid muscle. I mean, you could bounce a quarter off any inch of my body, especially my legs. I had amazing legs and a great butt because I ran 5 miles every day. And then I didn't run as much anymore. My knee finally wore out to the point where I couldn't overcompensate for it. Plus, I was, in a relationship, so he races over, take off the uniform. I went from 180 pounds of solid muscle to 235, 240 pounds in like a year. And it wasn't as solid muscly as it was before. So luckily I did gain weight kind of all over. So it just looked like I was burly. But as I've gotten older, all that extra weight, I've lost it a few times, got it back, lost it, got it back. Now I'm about 220. But now it all consolidates like from here to, bottom of my groin. And it's like, let's all hang out right here in the middle. So I look like a fucking bowling pin. Jacoby said, is being curious about certain things weird, Phil? Well, I don't know. Depends what those things are. If you're curious about, I'd like to know how nuclear fission works. Well, that's not weird. If you're curious about, I wonder what my neighbor would taste like if I cooked them over a barbecue pit. That's weird. But it depends on what it is. It really, really does. You got to give more information than that. Or if you wondered, I wonder what my grandma's vagina looks like. Well, that's a little weird. But if you're like, I want to know how a steam engine works, there's nothing weird about that. Sean Bain chimed in, and said, I have the arthritis in my wrists, shoulders, and back. Shotguns even 20 hurt. What is the best long gun you recommend? Well, if your back hurts from shooting, back's going to hurt. I mean, my age, my back just hurts. I don't remember the last time I ever got out of bed and my back didn't hurt. But, anything with less recoil is going to hurt less. So shoot a 22, I guess. It's not the gun. It's not because, it's the format of the gun that's the problem. It's the amount of recoil that's the problem. So if you start shooting, 50 BMG in a regular, it's going to still hurt. You get yourself a nice carbine, a nice 357 Magnum lever action carbine. I don't think you'll have any problem with that. And it's more fun. So get something like that. But it's not going to take place of a shotgun. Not very many long guns do take place of a shotgun. Excuse me. That was Sean Bain, by the way. Sean Bain. And then we got Joe Pearson weighing in. Joe Pearson. Sent a link for you to join and a link to put in the chat for anyone who wants a live stream. Scheduled for 9:30 or 7:30 p.m. West Coast. I saw. Let me see here. I got one more super chat, and we will get to the emails. And it's from Daniel Pent. And he said, awesome. Just make that when you give away the big folders, you tell people that they can snap close hard, and it's easy to lose a finger, especially the ones like the Spartan with the pocket snag deploy. Yeah, they can. My son Zyler, that's what he cut his finger with the first day, was one of the Spartans. So he was messing around with that, and he cut his finger. That's why I told him, that's why I said, okay, maybe you're not old enough for the responsibility of a knife yet. I said, so for now, when you want something cut, go get your baby brother and let him handle it. You just obviously can't handle the responsibility. I'm hoping who won? It was Welper won. I don't know which knife he's going to choose though. I don't think he'd want the Spartan. That's a big old knife. He probably wants something more practical. Like, if I had to choose, I'd probably take that. I don't know. I like the blade on the SR1, but the AD10 is also kind of nice. I like this one. I'd probably go with this one. But it's up to him to choose. Welper might be afraid of knives. I don't know. I don't know well enough. Let's see here. He's afraid of razors. That's obviously true. So, all right, let's get started with the emails now. Let me see what I got to share here. I'm actually doing it today, not forgetting. Here's one from remember Go Shadow sent the picture with the nest with the 4 eggs. Well, now there's 4 baby birds in it, and God, baby birds is ugly. I hope this wasn't taken right before he fried them up. I might want to see pictures as we go along to make sure they're developing and that he didn't eat those little babies. So there we got that one, and then we got. Come on, Linda. Where we get? Okay, we got this one. Share. Where are they at over here? I got to find them. There we go. This is from Rusty Hayes. You know, you got to pay $20 extra for a Rusty Hayes if you're with a prostitute. I don't know if anybody knows that, but it is $20 extra. Look what I got. He got a Chiappa Rhino 30DS. You know, that's one of the ones my son was considering for his self-defense gun. He really liked it. But fuck you getting the new Chiappa. I didn't get nothing. It sucks. Y'all suck. I swear to God. Every one of you suck. Any of you got new guns, you suck. Let's see here. I showed the birdies. Oh, here's another picture of someone who sucks. Where's the picture at over here? There it is. This is from BB64. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. He sent a picture of his high polished. Did you do that or did you have somebody do that? Because that is a high polish. That is purty. Someone went through stages on that. That is purty, purty, purty. So screw him too. I'm very petty. What is this one? Okay, here's an email. What did it say? Yankee, just want to say to everyone in the live chats, if you can't read what I type sometimes, I had eye surgery back in March. It says match, but I think it means March. To fix diabetic retinopathy, can't see the keys sometimes. Well, that's no excuse. Get you one of those where you just talk. I mean, my computer can do it, but it doesn't like the way I talk. My voice, I don't know what's wrong with it because the computers and the voice recognition shit don't like the way I talk. I send some really questionable texts because of it. And I never remember to check first. So, all right, we got one more email here to show. And this one's from Gummy Wuzzle. Says, got new snap caps in 40 and the bastards won't feed. None of them. Neither from the magazine or with Barney loading. Are you sure they're 40? Are you sure you're putting them in a 40 gun? I mean, the magazine's 40. And the cap says 40. I can't believe they don't feed. I don't know that silver stainless steel training cartridge. Why aren't they plastic? Mine are all plastic, I think. But, well, that sucks. Send them back. Hopefully you got them from Amazon so you can send them back. Send them back. You just bad luck. You're just bad luck. You're a jinx. You're Gummy Wuzzle the jinx. Let's see. Where are we at? I think we're out of time, aren't we? I got to those, and we're out of time now. Yes, it's 7:02. We are out of time. So thanks, everybody, today who sent in questions. It seemed like we had some good questions today. Things kept rolling pretty good. I like it when that happens. I'm proud of y'all today. You actually thought of stuff. I want to thank everybody who donated to the Pets and Vets Fund, everyone who got entries into the drawings, and the little drawing for the knife tonight. I will be doing that right after we sign off, so stick around. Otherwise, like I said, thanks to everybody out there for keeping the conversation rolling, just coming and participating. Thanks to everybody who helps keep our programs rolling. I appreciate everything y'all do. People that go out of their way to help, like Daniel Pennant and some of our big donators and everything else. Really appreciated. Of course, Martin Dwagwin, my favorite sugar daddy, and some others. if you want to be my favorite sugar daddy, you got outspending. None of you do that. Some of you kind of try, but Edgar Cortez is getting in that list of sugar daddies. He's getting there. But thanks everybody for everything you do. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all again next time. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again. Hey everybody, Yankee here. Before we go, I just want to take a second to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't take a penny from advertisers, retailers. We don't take money from political organizations. There's no one telling me what I need to tell you. Everything that we do is done through the generosity of our viewers, either buying merchandise or becoming a patron or a Subscribe Star member. You're all the ones that support Pets and Vets and TYMP. And that's the reason I can stay true to myself and loyal only to the people who watch my channel. And I can spend my time talking about what I want to talk about, telling what I think needs to be said, and giving you my uncensored take on things I think you need to hear. So if you'd like to help keep things that way, please support the channel by becoming a patron, a Subscribe Star supporter, or just going over to my web store and buying some merch. The links are all in the upper corner of this video.